So, guys, tell me a little bit about how Liberty started.
Uh, Basically, like we wanted to create a better option than what we were seeing on the market. And at first that was for cannabis, but it very quickly became like alcohol as well. We set out wanting to get into the cannabis business, and my best friend David's brother Josh had moved to
Older
Chattanooga.
brother, no?
Younger, but
Younger.
he likes to
Yeah.
pretend he's older.
He had moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and discovered drinks there. I mean, all of a sudden, there's a bunch of drinks in Tennessee, and I hadn't really seen it in Florida at the time. This was 2 years ago, and he told us we got to come visit, we got to see, and so we did, and we realized like this could be what we want to do because we didn't know exactly what we wanted to do in cannabis. We figured we wanted to put a product out there, us all having like medical cards and a lot of
Right.
experience with cannabis and just knowing like there's real differences in quality and it matters a lot, not just as for patient outcomes, but for recreational purposes for sure too. And so we discovered the drinks, like tried them out, or like these work, which surprised us to a level because drinks had been out for a while, but this was the first time they had like done it right. And by that I just mean like instead of it hitting in like 60 minutes or being unpredictable at the dosing, like maybe it says 50 milligrams, but you're only getting like five, like they're literally that bad. Now it's like you're feeling it in 5 to 10 minutes after your first sips, and so it's like you can microdose it, but have that confidence in that dosing. So it's literally the safest way that we could think to introduce it to someone. Like fast forward, we got our mothers to try it this way, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing because like now we just are continuing that on, and thankfully we put together like what we feel like is a great flavor and stuff behind it, and we're just working to build the story now.
Yeah, no, David gave me, I don't remember if it was lime or which flavor it was the other night. And but I felt it. Like within 5-10 minutes I felt it right away. But it was good. And the flavor is very good also. Um, how many flavors do you have now?
We have the two right now, the
Okay.
lime and watermelon. I'm glad we started with the two. We've been wanting to do a third, and we've just been still thinking about it. So if you have thoughts, what you'd like
What are
that to
what are the
be,
options right now for a potential third
we're
flavor?
thinking, and it doesn't have to stick this way whatsoever, but something like yellow or orange.
Yeah.
Especially with South Florida, it'd be nice to maybe do something more tropical. I don't know, like because
Pineapple flavor?
yeah, like a pineapple, a mango. I mean, originally we were thinking like blood orange, but honestly, it's you got to like. I know we did well with choosing the first two. Like people are very happy with these. I think watermelon's been growing a lot in popularity. Lime's just like a staple for seltzer, but the third one's like questionable and like it's not as easy as you'd hope to do to just to make a really
Right.
nice drink.
So in other words, you guys are maybe thinking instead of just going for another healthy flavor like lime, you would go to like an Aperol spritz kind of thing. Is that like the more
Actually, yes. Well, in a sense, you could say that because the next flavor in and of itself, it's not exclusively a seltzer, although it will probably have some fizzy elements, is a lemon iced tea, and
okay?
Liberty, like with the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Liberty.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. So a little play on the words there. But yeah, so it's going to be a lemon iced tea, and it's going to have, instead of 0 calories, it'll only be bumped up to 40. So still, keeping it under the 100, even under the 50
Right.
mark, which is not an easy thing to do, especially with all the additives that could be put into such a beverage that usually is, in the greater market. So and it will have actually a higher dosage than either of these two combined. It will have a 25 milligram, if I'm not mistaken,
Is that the
of
next like
dosage. Yes, that is the next
threshold?
rollout. But yes, so that will be our next rollout, which is very exciting. And it's just a little test to see like how far we can go without going to 100 calories or even more
Right.
than what our competition may do. So
And how much is like the competition? How many THC milligrams are they putting in it?
There's like a huge variety. Like we've seen
What's the
some.
highest? That
I've seen like I think the highest I've seen was like a 300 milligrams
oh
in
wow.
like a like kind of like a seltzery. I mean, more it was like more true of like a soda. you know, because it's like as soon as you start getting with these crazy doses, it starts to usually they're like syrups even like people are because they just throw so much sugar and stuff to cover the taste
Right,
because
but
like
then
you put so much cannabis in there like it has a taste so you have to like cover it up with something. Otherwise, it's just like very, I don't know, it's not as palatable, right? It's just kind of a lot of times it presents itself with something that's bitter or grassy, and like that's something that we do a great job of avoiding for sure. So we try to embrace the flavor of it and have the terpenes in there, you know.
yeah, to make it refreshing. In other words, like you
Yes.
don't want to feel it. And I agree with you. Like even when I don't know how many milligrams it had the one I had
I
that
believe
night.
it had 5.
Right, but I felt it right away,
Yes,
and it felt
exactly.
good. It felt really, really good. So like, it has the effect. It's refreshing. I mean, I'm sure people are gonna do like whatever 300, or but that's
Yeah,
a special selected group of people, niche
very much
people that
so. So I think that's what we're seeing is a lot of the like even the 10 milligrams right now is outselling our fives by like
really.
4 to 1. Like it crossed the market, it's probably like closer to like 10 to 1 for everyone. Um, just on like what people have been wanting, right? And like I think that dose is going to be like a higher dose for a lot of people once they come into it, and it's safe to say like 80% of people at least are just not into these drinks yet.
Yeah,
They just may not know about them, which is a huge majority, but or they just haven't tried them. So I think a lot of the drinks will end up being like on the lower dose side, and like you'll have the 25 milligrams that we're coming out with will do better in like some of like smoke shops and stuff like that. But fives and tens are like where we want to stick more so because we want to be like on premise at bars, restaurants,
yeah.
and I could see us going lower for sure. It's just a matter of the kind of consumer demand and how the market will shape out. But 2.5 milligrams, like we thought about going down before we thought about going up. But that
But
was
then you
quick. That
start
was quickly
seeing,
dismissed. We had to make
right, the
we
the
had
10
to make some
milligrams
money.
selling more than the.
We need to make some money. So yeah.
And how long did it take you to have the right formula, the right like tasting
Yeah, a long
to,
time. Like
Oh my
because you
god.
can get right, you can get like you, you can get lost in your own opinions from the beginning,
mhm.
right? Like you say, oh, this is much better, but then you really have to be as impartial as possible. So did you guys share it with friends, family, and others to like give you their or a
I
test
wish we
group?
did more of that, honestly, because you're right. That's like the best thing you can do. Like, even when we were thinking about like changing our formula slightly, it was like a big decision, and we had to, the best way to do that was get feedback from our people that already knew it, loved it, but also new people. Like, the more feedback you can get, the better. We can't obviously, afford these expensive focus groups, and you don't necessarily need them, but
Right.
you do need to get that feedback, and as soon as you can, the better. So with the first formulation we came out with, it literally took like it took 18 rounds of back and forth, like samples and stuff, tweaking things and just figuring out which flavorings we were gonna maybe use and stuff like that. So we even formulated with sweeteners, too, because we wanted to originally just make like a 0 calorie seltzer, and like there's a lot of ways you can accomplish that. Typically, it's done with sweeteners, and that's very quickly what we realized is we wanted to get away from that, and we felt like it didn't contribute again to that refreshingness that we were seeking,
Yeah.
and that kind of made it where you could just have it like as an anytime drink. Where a lot of these other seltzers, and there's no shade, a lot of them taste good, but they have sweeteners and they're more like a diet soda because of that. Whereas again, 0 calories, 0 carbs, zero sodium, like it makes a difference to me with the drinkability for sure. Like I've grown up like drinking the vodka water limes. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it's not super palatable, but it's super refreshing, keeps me going, and it's like I'm just trying to get a little drunk here. So now I really like beer, so
Yeah.
drink.
No, this has the health aspect. It has the good flavor, and it has the effect of the
Yeah.
THC, all in one. And like it's like, I agree. You got the trifecta going on there. But what are your backgrounds? Like, how did you end up? I know Chattanooga and your younger brother David, but like, who is formulating the chemical aspect on all this?
Yeah, we worked with like some formulators that were in Chattanooga, so they had done flavoring for a lot of other products. They're not like a flavor house, so there's a lot of again routes you can go with that too. Like plenty of people play with stuff on their own, and like that's what we did to get to the iced tea lemonades. We didn't work with an outside group for that, but like it was certainly helpful to have people that had been there, done that, even when it just came to like SOPs and weighting distributions and stuff. Like we got there just much quicker by having their help and investing resources into that. And that group was Landrace Bioscience out in Tennessee, and we also worked with like some local like breweries and stuff, and just made sure that we got the right people that were looking at it to give us like trusted feedback and like that actually cared about the brand and the vision. And like we just got lucky with finding the right partners, because honestly we wouldn't like have this drink ready right now if we didn't find the right partners. And that's easy to say, but it's because like we walked into that like formulation, that lab, and we're like, this is what we want. Like we want America's THC seltzer, 0 calories. We want it to taste, feel, and like look like this, and they were all on board. So it's been huge to have them as supporters from the get go. And I think it's just that important that you surround yourself with people that just share that vision. It just propels it forward. So
That's amazing. And like, are you guys now looking also for more like investors coming into the company, or you guys currently are in the process of
yeah, we're
growth?
navigating that right now because we're definitely in the process of growth. Like it's growing like slowly but surely, like month over month. We're improving things, but it's still getting some of those systems down where we can like really like replicate and scale it. And that's where I think it's going to become like like it's already like we're not explicitly looking for investment right now. We've been talking to some people, and we have people that are interested for sure, but we've done everything on our own so far, and we're trying to figure out how we can keep that going. But at the end of the day, like us expanding into new markets and just even doing more of where we are locally, like it does require money, and like we can't put it all into just cans. We got to put
Right.
people in the street. So that's what we'd like to do going forward. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen this year for new state launches, but we do have our co-founders are a little spread out. So New Jersey, Tennessee, Florida is where we're growing, and if we
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah, and it's a lot to do just with
Oh,
those
right.
three. So I mean, we're really excited to just take on that and see where it goes. And
And when do you feel people drink have them? Like at night, at lunch, in the morning, after exercising,
Well, I think it really is suitable for any sort of
anytime,
any time of day.
even with a meal.
Even with, yeah, of course, especially with a
With a
meal,
meal. Yeah, yeah, that's
especially
what I
with a
thought.
meal. But I think people typically like to have them during the night or in social settings as opposed to alcoholic beverages, because what I've noticed and I've been what you said, is a perfect segue into this section of the discussion, which is like going to events and what is the type of audience that
Right.
really this sort of product appeals to. A lot of it's the health and wellness people, because I believe that they're split into a few different camps. One of them being the we don't touch alcohol, we don't touch any of that. We only do psychedelics, mushroom psychedelics, and all of that stuff. And then there's another section where it's just um, we don't do the alcohol, we do the psychedelics, but we also do weed. And then there's the section of people who don't do the weed but only the mushroom. So it's very interesting to see like the different demographics
Yeah.
that this appeals to, um, in these health, these biohacking networks and whatnot.
Yeah, because I feel like, and we all know it, like people are not drinking alcohol how they used to, like in the
yeah,
past.
Correct.
They're exploring new things, new ideas. I mean, um, and they're into like something refreshing. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, um, like Poppy was the name of the
hmm
soda company that got sold to like Pepsi, maybe
yeah,
for like a billion or some like
yeah,
crazy
they did
number.
well.
They did amazing,
Amazing.
but
Yeah.
they came up with a concept that was different, and people liked it.
Yes.
So people are tired, and it's always been difficult to do anything with THC, like because as soon as and this is my perspective
hmm
because I'm not an expert in the matter, but as soon as things started legalizing statewide, for at least flour and stuff like that, and then they went into counties and then to cities, you started more people were doing it. Gray markets were being created.
Mhm.
There were edibles. There was like all this different, but it was all spread out throughout. And I really never thought why a drink wasn't created. I actually, before Liberty, I had never tried anything with THC in it.
Oh,
Just
cool. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not even a joint, not a
No,
blunt?
a joint. Yeah. What I'm saying, a drink with
Oh, yeah,
THC
yeah.
in it.
Well, that also touches on a broader issue because when I talk to certain people, like, who might not be in the same network or just in general, maybe they are too, that they're like, there's a drink with weed in it. That's a concept that blows their mind. They're like, I never knew about that.
Yeah.
They had no idea that you could, infuse cannabis into so this is still very much a young and it's very much in its it's like a
Infancy.
toddler
Yeah.
infancy.
Infancy.
Yeah, it's in its
Yeah,
infancy
for sure.
in many ways, because if you just talk to, like, yes, it's becoming more mainstream, but not to the extent that everyone knows it, like they do a blunt or a
Right,
joint
right.
or a bong or even a bong, so
It is funny, yeah, how that like it's such a like familiar like way of consumption for people, right? Like a drink is like we drink coffee, beer,
Right.
wine, like so many different things. Like drinking is what people do every day, all day. And yet we never like thought of it for, some of these other factors. And like I think that that's pouring over into all sorts of things now, like, the adaptogenics, nootropics, whatever. It's hard to keep up. But it's just it's nice that this is available finally, and that's again what we kind of set out like when we were making the drink. We're like, we want this for ourselves, where we can go to the medical, dispensaries, we can go to recreational markets, whatever. You can go to the black market easily. Like you have all these options, but you didn't really have drinks, and like I couldn't just like sit at the bar and
Right.
enjoy it. Like, and that's what I wanted, and like now everyone can have that, and it's like really cool how it's grown from that. So it's like I get so excited introducing it to people because again, it's like the safest way I could think to introduce it to someone. I couldn't think to get my mother to inhale something or take a gummy. And there's no shame in either of those, of course. It's just harder with like the dosing. And
Yeah.
that is the most important part. Because when people have a bad experience, it's oftentimes they just had too much. And not everyone's gonna be, 100% agreeable with it. It's just like alcohol in that sense. People are different, but this is a really safe like alternative to alcohol, and it's for a lot of people. And like when I say 80% of people aren't in it, like that's part of the passion for us is just having people know that this is an alternative that's available. Like that's I'm not trying to get rid of alcohol whatsoever.
Right.
We just want to be able to add to the fun, and like
we're
that's
not in the
important.
prohibition.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got plenty of the non-alcoholic drinkers. It's like over 80% of them still drink alcohol. They're the biggest consumers of the non-alcoholic still, is the people that still drink alcohol. So it's just people just want options. Like that's what most important.
And what you said earlier touches on a broader aspect, especially within the stoner community. I'm not one to be an expert on this particular matter, but people are also within that community trying to move away from smoking, vaping, and whatever research may
Right.
come out against such matters, which is still, I believe, to be contested. Nonetheless, kind of scurries them away from those methods of consumption. And I don't know, even the fact that edibles absorbs into your fat, and that could take up to 1.5, 2 hours to actually hit. And people don't like that delayed effect because it gives them, like you said, that overwhelming
And
bad
once it hits,
reaction. And once
right.
it hits, it's done. So this will hit you in the same effect, in the same sense that hitting a pen will, or hitting a joint, because it absorbs rather into your bloodstream. So it's immediate, and you're not like surprised by anything per se.
No, and it's pretty cool what you said about it being a drink. So like you can have it
It's
whenever with a
so
meal
easy.
at night, socially with friends. You don't want a beer. It's just another medium of like doing it. So that was
Yeah.
very, very
It's
smart.
even for people that like, consume cannabis, like maybe you're smoking a joint and like you still have a seltzer
Yeah,
water
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
It's like it's that
Yeah.
that the occasions are definitely like especially without the sweeteners and stuff, like we're going to like run clubs or something, you know, and like all this stuff because like it's just people that want to be like socially active, and then like up to you on how you want to do that. But you know, this is also very versatile. Like make a more fun drink with it if you want. Like add some sugar and stuff. Like it's
We,
a seltzer water,
yeah, we
so
have had, and I've tried myself actually, some of the mocktails and cocktails with alcohol. I'd say
Oh, you
some
mix
of,
it up, yeah.
yeah, some of the ones that the bartenders have cooked up for us with like rosé
Yeah.
and whatnot. It actually it really complements it in many ways.
That's smart to come up with like a mix, like a mixologist to
yeah.
come up with.
We really want to do that like this year is, and it just requires like meeting the right people. Like I'm not a professional mixologist, bartender, so it's like, hey, take these things and
Yeah.
do something beautiful with it, you know? And it's like I think that's one of the goals we have, especially when we talk on premise, is getting together like a really solid, you know, options with mocktails, whether that on the expensive side, the less expensive side, you know,
Right.
thinking about the ingredient inputs, what's available to a lot of these guys, and you know, just presenting it to them. It's like here's two drinks and a full mocktail menu you can do with it. Up to you on how you want to do it, but it's profitable. So
And so then how where are you promoting it now? Like where I know, David, I've seen you a lot on social media with like celebrities and stuff like that. So like
Putting it modestly.
but everyone holding the can, and so like that's great. That's incredible. Is that the main promotion or like
I
social
think that's a
media?
big part of it. Like
Yeah, yeah.
David being in the field and just getting people like getting it in front of people. That's huge. Like I always joke like the more we open our mouths, like the more that gets done because it's like we have to just tell people about this. That's the biggest like role that we have as like operators in this space is to grow the category and like there's no better way to do that than with your you know just giving the drinks
Right.
out honestly. So David like does a really organic job of like hey you
He
know
does an amazing job. Yeah, I see
yeah
him all the time.
it is amazing because he's like, hey, like follow us on the Instagram,
Right.
you know, post it somewhere, do whatever you want, just and then you can get a can easy.
Yeah.
And like even our strategy for like reaching out to people online is like if they reach out to us, they say they like really want it, and it's like they have maybe a little bit of a following or something. It's like okay, here's some cans for free, just enjoy it, and if you want to share it, that would be awesome, you know. But no expectations besides we hope you enjoy it. So you know, we've had some good organic stuff come that way, and that's really what we want to lean into. Again, people that you know share the vision, that see us as like an easy, real addition to what they're doing, and how we can contribute to that in like a fun, meaningful, simple way. So like you know, that's how we look for like events like the Run Club and stuff I
Yeah.
mentioned. It's like
It's at the Run Club in Miami, in Brickell.
I've did the one in Boca, but we
Okay,
should.
okay.
But like that's exactly where again thinking about doing more. Like we'd love to expand and just have more places. So.
Yeah, no, there that part of this you know early phase of you know I never really did anything like this before, but part of this you know early phase of entrepreneurial navigation here is really it's the networking. It really is.
100%.
It's the people you meet, and you know you don't get anything done by sitting behind a computer all day and whatnot. You have to get out there and know what the right events are to go to, the right people to meet, because you know you're really only one connection away from you know turning the business into something bigger or lead something that leads into the next thing. So you know I've went to some amazing events like Epic Talks. I don't know if you've heard a good friend of mine, Melitza. There was a Brickell Wall Street event. A lot of these type of things that they'll invite me to, and they always tell me to bring the drinks. And you know, it's funny. It's like the within 10 minutes they're all gone, and it's like I didn't know I should I brought more.
Yeah.
You know, like
Always.
I didn't. Yeah, always. But you know, people seem to really. A few weeks ago, I went to this event in the flamingo, the four flamingo, the four ambassadors hotel, and everybody. I was like, okay, maybe a few people will try it and sip it or take a picture. Yeah, it'll be chill. I walk in, everybody smothers me, wants the drink, and then 5 minutes later, a friend comes up, says, "Hey, where's the Liberty?" I'm empty-handed. You know, so there's definitely like that is the best way to get yourself out there. Just wearing the hat, wearing the, we sponsor NASCAR. We have
Oh,
our
it's
good friend,
incredible.
yeah, Donovan Strauss. The shirt I am wearing, a great guy. All he does is play NASCAR simulation.
Okay.
In the meantime, he is 100% committed. Like this is his, like sort of how this is Parker's passion. Mine is also film, but that's another discussion.
Hmm.
But he is so committed to racing. All right,
Yeah,
right,
he's
Parker. Like
amazing.
he's a beast. I mean, this guy is a machine, and we were so lucky to have come across him last year, and he's done incredible publicity for our company, and just stuff like this, wearing it, and that makes people go, oh wow, like
Right.
this is something, so if you do those things and you do it enough, and you penetrate into the right networks, then you'll see your business grow. You'll see us get into more stores, into more venues, into more events and
So,
whatnot.
so like no, and I agree. I mean, like that. I would think the first impression is like, oh, you can have THC in a drink. Like when you told me, and you and I met in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe last year or in Washington, D.C.
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
for
it could
the
have been DC.
inauguration.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it could have
yes,
been DC.
could have been possibly.
Yeah, and then I was automatically, it's a positive reaction to it. Like, oh my god, let me try it. And then just like you said,
I don't think I had it on me at
no,
that time.
no, no. But when you bring the cans and you have them, it's like you finish them off, and you're like, are there more? Like so, like one thing leads to the other. And the reason I asked about the promotions, I remember many energy drinks when this was probably 15 years ago, when the energy 20 years ago, even when the energy drink trend was coming up, and like Red Bull was the lead, and then all these others try to trail, and they probably did make money, and they sold to like major
Hmm.
companies, but they were going out to let's say nightclubs or things like that, and they had the girls in bikinis giving away the cans.
Yeah,
Are
that
you guys
helps.
doing any of that or not?
I mean, I think it'd be nice if we had some more attractive women repping our cans. I think
Besides David?
it's definitely it's definitely an effective strategy. Like we've been told it, a lot of people like, but not super jokingly, like get a pretty
Oh,
women,
really?
get them walking around with cans. And honestly, like when I think about building our email list, like I could go out at night and ask a bunch of people for emails,
Mhm.
or I could, pay someone X amount of dollars per email that's attractive, that's
They'll
still
get
wearing
him
our
right
merch.
away.
I know. So it's like they're
Right
gonna do it.
away,
It's
like
like if
in a
I'm trying to
minute.
save myself time and us do a better job, like that's a great way to
The
do
thing
it.
is there's also a strategic element that we've touched. Myself,
You still need
Parker,
the right people,
Magnus,
absolutely. Yeah.
and yes, it's about that, but also we're a brand that we have class,
Right.
so we don't exactly listen. Anybody and everybody, well, at least if you're 21 and over, can enjoy our product here in the States and whatnot, and abroad. Well, I have to, but it's not like our brand is to market towards OnlyFans model. Like we want some a fine line of class and decorum in some ways for our
Yeah.
marketing strategy. So yeah, of course,
Like sex
try.
sells, but
Yeah, it does. It does. But to appeal towards a broader audience, you don't want to be seen as a joke. So you kind of have to you have to toe the line in a responsible manner in that
Yeah, you're
sense.
right.
But
You're right.
although I know plenty of in my network now in the entertainment realm. I know plenty of OnlyFans models, content creators, whatever you may call them, all doing their work as whatever anyone may think of it. But so, but in general, people being a face of the company, I would say we like people who are sharing said vision in general of this being, a broader America's THC seltzer, one that, embodies, the values and embodies the values and the aesthetic in many ways.
Right. In other words, you can have like Red Bull had all these athletes going on and do extreme things, and that's almost what Red Bull is known for today.
Of
And
course.
like, and then you're almost like deciding if the brand's going to be long term or short term lived. Like all these companies that I'm telling you about on the energy drink side, they no longer exist or they're not remembered. So like what we were talking about before about poppy drinks and what they sold for 1 billion or whatnot, they appeal to like women, to moms, and like it came more towards the family side of things. So I don't know if the process is, of course, in the beginning as you continue to grow, it's a survival kind of thing. It's like we gotta get our girl in bikini, we'll get her. But if you make it your staple, just like you said, you might lose that like
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely
demographic
for
where
everyone.
like
It's being taken seriously
Right,
in
right,
some,
right.
in some capacity. So it is a gray area in many respects. So yeah, and I really think that the best way to go about that in terms of publicity is really a celebrity or a influencer, whatever they call them these days. There's all these labels. One that actually is first off a cannabis user. That's that because that means they are passionate first and foremost about the industry, and one that will appeal to the consumers. And I've been thinking, a buddy of mine knows Tommy Chong, and I think that would be a perfect representation of
He has
of
his
a
own company.
company, which he does. But nonetheless, there's
someone like him maybe.
someone of that nature, Snoop Dogg, and
He also has.
he also has it. But you get the point.
These are
Like
competitors, David.
maybe they
Oh,
are,
they're good. They're good.
but people of that nature, who have, I mean, literally Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa made a movie 13 years ago. Mac and Devin Go to High School. Terrible movie. It's really funny. But we and as I am actually producing a film which will be shooting next year, which may very well have the Liberty being featured.
That's great.
Which is another discussion in and of itself. There are many ways. Smoke Perp is actually going to star in that feature. The trailer got plenty of views, but in general, that, like, I believe those are the realms, and social media is free. Like I tell every single person, if you are in anything that has to do with business, real estate, selling a product, sales, whatever, you have to. And I listen. I have social media because I need it, because I need it to connect with people. It's free. If you don't have it, then there is a big hole in the amount of potential of your reach.
Yeah.
You need to, no matter, listen, like we all start with 0 followers. We all start with nothing on there. But you have to put all those contacts onto an Instagram, onto a TikTok, onto even a Facebook, which I barely use anymore.
Yeah.
And market it, because specifically on Instagram, you have to put those things out there, and that's exactly what we do.
So where do people buy him now? Like,
We have a store locator online, and
okay.
we have them in some like bars, restaurants. We're looking to get a lot more spots in Miami still, but up where I am in Palm Beach County, we have like well over 50, at least even just in the immediate Delray area.
51 locations?
Yeah, so like
That's
Two
incredible.
Georges, Old Key Lime House are like some of the bigger spots, but we're in like little mini golf places, movie theaters, like pizza shop, like wherever we can be. It's just wanting to show up in like the right places, and that's why I'm so like set on doing the on-premise side of things. And like Dave was talking about with the demographics, I mean, we wanted to just appeal to anyone. So
Yeah, and so
As long as you're 21.
yeah, yeah, disclosure.
Disclosure.
but I think like we definitely look up to Red Bull too in a lot of their marketing tactics. Like like
Did you
you
hear
said,
how
some
they
of the stuff.
started? Like how they threw out empty cans.
Yeah, that story is brilliant. Like, obviously, I try to be mindful of that. I may place one empty one on top of a trash can,
Yeah.
as opposed to a pile of them on the floor or something. Although, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, to get it out there. But I literally, I even save the cans like when I finish them usually. So I have like a couple hundred that are empty in my garage, which, like David said, social media, I'll just do something with it sooner
Right.
than later. Like post something, just doing something fun with the cans.
So how many locations do you have in total?
In total, we're like a little over 250 now.
That's
I still got to
incredible.
update the store locator to reflect that, but we've been growing more consistently, like at least like 30 counts a month now. So, we're trying to, especially with this iced tea lemonade coming out, it's going to be helpful for like our growth. We just have a lot of people that are like wanting it and stuff. So we're excited. Again, like 30 accounts is what we've been kind of averaging the last few months, but we want to be at like 90, just we should have like 5 every day. Let's do it. It's just a matter of kind of getting out there more, getting in my car, doing sales, and figuring out how we can get more word of mouth too. Just people asking for it at stores is really always an amazing way to do it. So if you guys want to see it locally, just ask for it
Yeah.
at your store and they'll probably carry it.
So the store locator is on your website then?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you go to a website. What's a website?
It's drinklic.com.
Okay.
LIC, LIC. Yeah, living in a can.
And then you just go and find, and you have, so the majority are in Miami, I assume.
The majority are actually in Palm Beach County and the Chattanooga area. So we've had,
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
right,
we work with
several states. Yeah.
Anheuser-Busch in Palm Beach County, and they cover us for a few more counties north of it. Their territory extends to Miami a little bit, but it's just like an awkward spot. So we're still working out kind of our distribution there. And a big part of that is just like I'm not in the market physically as often, so I'm not like pitching a bunch of places and stuff. So it's been a little slower roll, but we've had like I think like half a dozen accounts that have been doing really well for a while now. We just are looking forward to getting into hopefully some nightclub scenes and stuff like that sooner than later, which is just again you just got to meet the people and get out there. And I'm not physically in Miami enough to kind of make that happen sometimes, so it's tough.
So it doesn't. So Miami's growing a lot, and that's the reason I ask. But it's one of the goals to go down to Miami, or it's organically wherever
It's a
the
little
drink.
organically, but we will definitely put more of an effort, especially this year, into opening places up. Like we're
Yeah.
we're serious about, having more of a presence there. Like you said, it's growing, but it's just an amazing city and it's, there's so many like fun opportunities for Liberty to show up and like that's where we want to be. Like even myself on the weekends, I'm like, oh, I wish I was in Miami. It's
Yeah.
like there's just a lot more fun stuff happening. So we want to definitely be a part of that.
Yeah. No, and you can get the tri-rail, go all the way down to.
Easy enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the bright line.
Yeah. Or the bright line, but it's more expensive. The bright line. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whichever one can let you take the most coolers. Like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Um.
That's funny.
So like, how long has the company been operating since like the launch of the drinks? Like.
Yeah, we've been in the market for coming up on 16 months now.
So it's super early.
Yeah,
Still.
definitely.
That's massive success for like 16 months.
So yeah, we launched last year, July 4th, 2024.
Liberty.
Yep, Liberty. On July 4th, as American as it gets, we launched officially at in Madison, Indiana. We sponsored the hydroplane boat race. That was the 74th anniversary of the Madison Regatta. It's a very famous annual event that takes place for July 4th week or whatever. And we sponsored, kicked it off. To a massive success, actually, if I might add. We got the endorsement of the mayor, Mr. Bob Courtney, good friend of mine, and he's been very supportive. And we're actually going to be, we had our first anniversary, second year, but our first anniversary at the race this
Okay.
past July 4th. for the 75th Madison Hydroplane Boat Racing Regatta, and we look forward to continue doing work with them. The people of Indiana, they love us, and it's always a great time. And we wanted to get in with the the community of America, not just the people who live in Miami or New York or all these city people who live in the cities. We want to get with the working class, and we got a major kick out of that, and so did they. I'm betting they did. I bet they did. Especially even the mayor tried it on site, and there was just plenty of opportunities that just sprung from that alone. So yeah, and we look forward to continue doing more of those. And we actually just won a championship. Parker could talk about that from Key West.
Yeah, our friends had won. The Saris racing team had won a title at the Race World Offshore Championship in Key West. They do some boat racing, and they were just nice enough to put our sticker on the boat. So
Oh, that's incredible. And so, how much does each can sell for?
we have them like retailed for like $4 to $5 in the store. At the bars, there's always like a little bit of an upcharge, so you could see $6 to $10. But we do want to have it be just like affordable still, like it's as affordable as we can make it. Our goal is to continue driving down prices, but at the end of the day, there is just economics of putting weed in a can. So we have them like usually you can find a really great price on our website that'll usually beat the retailers, and then you just have to stomach like some of the shipping, but we keep that reasonable as well. So we wanted to make something that was premium but like accessible, like and
Right,
that
right,
price
right.
point's a big part of it. So
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if we were drinking like what Voss water right now, I think that's $6. I think now,
yeah,
like
easily
that.
can be. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how much it is, but it's so like um, how do you guys procure the wheat? I mean, like, is there like we're all known to there's sativa and there's indica,
hmm
right? So which one goes in it? Is it a mix? Like how does
Yeah, we are
that
using
selection go?
we have like a broad spectrum THC oil, which is meant to contribute to the entourage effect. And simply put, that's just like what you get from like a whole flower experience versus THC being isolated on its own.
Right.
So there's different chemical, compounds and in the plant, just like there is in any plant. Like a tomato has, I think 500 plus different compounds in it that we
Yeah.
know of. So cannabis, they've discovered about 200. That number's like climbing, but it's just like we still don't know entirely what's in it. So, but what we do know is the whole, like the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. Like it's important to have um, like these different compounds, like terpenes that are naturally found in nature, they found to have a synergistic effect with THC. So simply put, like you can have more and enjoy more when you have more of a full plant, full spectrum extract. So that's why we use more of a broad spectrum THC oil over an isolated, is that we, keep some of those, terpenes and other compounds that add to the flavor, but really the effects. And it's hard to do, and that's where we spend a little bit more money to do. We extract the flower though, like in hemp fields in Kentucky.
Okay.
So they grow a ton of great hemp over there, and then that's where we get the THC oil. Other than that, we have instead of using it from that crop, we get the terpenes from some other plants because we have two different terpene profiles in the drinks, which honestly we don't get to that level of detail with people usually because very few people even ask about it, and it's something we've just not like put into our marketing really yet. A little bit out of just wanting to like do it right and not wanting to confuse people, but also maybe we'll change the terpene profile a little bit, and that's okay. But they're very similar. They both have like a good amount of limonene and samurcine, which are just when typically like the profiles for people are just giggly. Like there's something that's like relaxing, euphoric. The indica and sativa, like it's hard to hold like genetics in one place over the other and how exactly it's going to elicit effects. but we just made sure we had something that was more just like sociable for a lot of people. And like, so the actual terpene profiles are very, very similar. The only difference is like slightly like super small percentage difference on the terpenes, which is really what gives it that full flower experience. I know that's a lot to say, but it's like, so like I said, simply put, we use more of the plant because it's, you can have more and enjoy more that way.
Yeah, I think I wasn't expecting like a chemical answer or anything like it, but I'm just like um, curious. Curious because of it's incredible what you guys have been able to achieve. Um, and both of your backgrounds, I know yours is film, but what's your background?
Just in business, like,
Okay.
played sports my whole life and wanted to
What did you
do
play?
something in business, soccer.
You did?
Yeah, I love football. Like, I wish I was playing more often now. This has been a easy excuse to not play, but
And
like I miss it. I love it.
did you play in leagues like locally or like?
Yeah, I played travel like my whole life and like on my school team for high school. And I was thinking about doing it in college, but I just opted to go more social and educational.
Yeah.
um, just didn't think I was gonna have the playtime and stuff as much as I wanted, which is like I just know I wouldn't have as much fun. So that's like, but
And what position did you play?
usually like the center mid, like number 10 or
Yeah.
attacking mid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Messi.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love, yeah, I always wore number 10. I love Messi. But definitely never, no, not, he's the best.
So you played
Um,
soccer too, David? No.
Oh no, I was the last person that that they
That they would
wanted to
choose.
choose in physical education classes. It was not pretty. I was in a wheelchair actually for my third grade, my entire third grade, and they never wanted to pick me for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. But when I did, and when I won in kickball, apparently, this kid started crying. He didn't invite me to his wedding, so it's okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to do something that like I was gonna have as much passion for as I did soccer, and like I've honestly like I can always pour my time into this, and I get so much out of it. So it's made me very happy and fulfilled, and like that's what I wanted out of business when I thought like I wanted to go into business. And I didn't realize too like the biggest positives like thinking back to like the July 4th launch, like from the end of that once we finished that like long weekend. I was like, I never felt like closer to the world, and like that was so special to me, like how this could, just extend like all these new relationships and stuff. And I think, that's a lot of what life's about. So,
Yeah, the entrepreneurial life makes you. I mean, I've been doing real estate for over 10 years, developing, and I've traveled the world, and I've met people I never thought I would meet. And so it's like you're living many different lives at once. So like that's a positive aspect, and the fact that you guys are doing something you guys are passionate about makes it all that more enjoyable. Because as you guys know, being an entrepreneur is a difficult thing, and so like when you wake up every morning and like and then you do something that you really have joy for, then it almost doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're doing it. And throughout the day or the weeks, like maybe you'll have it's a rough week, but then you have just one moment which is positive, or a goal that you guys accomplish, even if it's as small as an event, going to an event and having people show up on social media, or like getting one more location a week. It feels like, okay, I can next week is going to be even better, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like you guys are in a tough industry, right, as it is, but you're also, like you said, you're in its infancy. So like this is the right time, because like I said before, like this was the first time ever I tried a drink with THC in it.
I'm honored we were the first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
truly, like I think like that's why I wish we could be more spots at once. Is like if we could be the first experience for people, that's so special. Like because we know we're gonna put something forward that's just like again good, safe, fun. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's a blessing like to be able to do that. So I
And
mean,
because as we move into this like new age of health, make America healthy again, all of these notions that are biohacking, the most important the just like how people who know how to use AI will get ahead in their business. The people like us who know how to make a cannabis drink product that has little to no sweeteners or carbs or whatever additives will get further later on, because people are now, like I said, going to what's in it, what's in the product. They're looking like they're watching like a hawk to see any ingredients that they don't like. And the faster that a product is available that meets that criteria, the more successful it will be in the market.
100%. 100%. We're gonna do like a segment of like rapid fire questions.
Sure, please.
You guys you can both answer whoever. I don't care. Like
Sure,
it's
please. By all
whatever
means.
it is. So as an entrepreneur, right? What's most important? Curiosity or discipline?
Oh, I'd say both are very. Well, okay. I'd say both are fairly important. Which is more important is the curiosity of myself or the curiosity of the people I'm marketing towards.
Yeah, I think it's important to be disciplined with like things like fun and curiosity. So I think the discipline wins, although curiosity is more immediately fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like both are potentially on the same level because you have to be curious about always like either people, the product, like all of the time. But then you also have to be so disciplined in like what you're doing in order to accomplish those goals. Um, when you guys launched it, was it like based out of instinct? You had that gut feeling, or was it like a logical, like a market research analysis? And you're like, guys, we just
It
gotta
was a
go.
lot of gut feelings. Like, I mean, we knew the market was pretty brand spanking new. There was little to no numbers out there on like the size of the industry, how many people we're competing against. Like, I'm doing Google searches, putting together a list of our competitors, and like, I'm going to page 10 and I'm just hoping to find something new. Like, there's a lot of people in this space now, but when we were getting into it, we did have that gut feeling. Like, we know cannabis, we know we want to go into business, we know this is going to be an absolutely massive thing. Like, we can't even fathom how big this could be, but we tried, and we're like, we trademarked America's THC seltzer. Like, we want to be the Bud Light of this space. We want to bring this drink to everyone, and we just felt like we were the people to do that. That was the gut feeling, for very much so.
It was a gut feeling, but there was also some method to the madness, if you will, because
Yeah.
having us launch at a super all American event, boat racing, you got the mayor there, you got people drinking beer on the lawn in a tent, you know. That's very much like the all American experience on July 4th
Right.
of all time. So it's a bit of both, but yes, the it was definitely a gut feeling that led to that.
Like Dave said, in terms of formulation too, we were thinking ahead of like, we knew we wanted this drink for ourselves. Like when we were trying all the other drinks, they had the sugars, the sweeteners, and we're like, we just don't want that like every time. Like, and like, so like we're gonna make this, and we thought, looking back into like how White Claw came up, and then High Noons like started going
Or
crazy, and
liquid
it's like,
death.
yeah, and then Liquid Death, and it's like, okay, if we can just build what we set out to do, build a brand, and we put an amazing product behind it, like, and this is something that we think will continue to grow in demand of people wanting something that's just better for you, right? And it's like, well, here's all these zeros, like, you can't ask for much more. Like, we can put some other stuff in there, maybe like some electrolytes or whatever, and maybe we will one day, but it's like
Yeah.
that's where we kind of thought where the opportunity was within the market, very much so. And the branding. I mean, a lot of the other brands are just more psychedelic and feminine, and we just again thought about like what would the Bud Light of this space be,
What would the standard America
Right.
cannabis THC seltzer be?
And then okay, another question: when you guys were starting, or even today, you guys like to work early in the mornings or late at night?
I like to work a little later. Like, It's like, especially like thinking about the on premise, right? It's like sometimes I just have to go at night to these places. Like I'll bring my bar to the my laptop to the bar.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah. That'll get clipped.
And like, just socialize with people. Like I'll work on spreadsheets, like whatever needs to happen. I'm trying to be on the road a lot, so got the personal hotspot going and stuff. But I've been waking up a little bit more consistently earlier just to kind of match my co-founder Josh's pace too, because he's waking up at like 7 every day, and like genuinely, if I'm working later at night, it's like who really cares? But I'm trying to be on the same page as people too, and so it kind of fluctuates for me, honestly. Like I go back and forth between waking up a little later versus earlier, but I'm not really sleeping in past 9, so
Oh, my work ethic goes till ungodly hours. I have to, in terms of it's all, like I said, it's all networking. Whether I'm at an event or a party or some venue or whatnot, getting into somebody's ear at 1 in the morning, um, is sometimes work in and of itself, as we
Right.
know. So yeah, I'd say I'm very much a night owl in that respect. So yeah, kind of like Batman.
Yeah. No, I had always been like a night owl all of my life, and then when I started getting more disciplined, I started waking up like 4:30, and it just,
wow.
yeah, which is, it's different because you guys are also in a space where socially
Yeah.
the drinks happen at night
Yeah.
too. So
Exactly.
it's like it's
It does
different.
make it tough like that. And that's what I've explained to Josh, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, because I operate well at night, but I think when I think about myself being better and being more disciplined, it would certainly be waking up earlier and getting some stuff done sooner. And so like maybe that just extends to like my workouts and stuff, but that's what starts to, take all this positive momentum. So
Yeah.
We aren't a coffee business.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I'd say if we were, then we'd be up a little earlier by design in many ways.
So what's one thing you guys wouldn't compromise the brand or the product into the future as you guys grow?
it's the quality of the product for sure. We can't build a brand without it. It's one thing to give someone a good experience, but if we can't have that be repeatable and something they can come back to and
Yep.
just fully trust, then we've really messed up. So like we actually had a really big issue recently, which is like subsiding now. But Tennessee had changed their laws on like the ethanol content that was allowed in the drinks. And we had to reformulate because of that. So it went from like 0.5% to 0.1% because some of our flavorings are ethanol based. So we had to basically make an entirely new drink. And we obviously not something we wanted to do. It's just something we had to do because of the regulators, our partners, etc. Um, and we tried the drink, we gave it to some people, we got that feedback immediately, and we're like, we can't put this out.
Right.
Like, and it was our biggest production run yet. Like, obviously, like when cash is low and stuff, you're making products and you're constantly putting money back into it just to make more and hopefully get more of that money. But this was a really big loss for us. It had been like basically 300% of like what our biggest production was, and we're just like having to scrap it because it's not up to the standards that we have. And thankfully, the laws have changed back, so we're able to go back to our old formulation. So it was super disappointing, but again, we couldn't just put that out somewhere. So we're really just gonna like scrap it, like make some mocktails, pour it out, right? Like try to make it better. But it's not that it's a bad drink. It's just different, and it's not as
Not
good.
consistent.
Yeah, it's not as good as what we'd want, and we know the people that like know and love our drinks are not going to be as pleased with it, and that's what we found out very quickly. So we just made immediately things happen, and we're getting a new production run going right now. Like all the materials are in the warehouse. We just got to mix it and put them out there. So that's been a bit of a cluster because we've had like delays in some of our product availability, which is delayed some of that month over month growth and stuff. But it's all just growing pains, and we got to put the best stuff out there. So
Yeah. No. It's tough. Those are tough decisions to make. But I agree in the sense that if you don't have a consistent quality standard, then people are going to notice. And people are not gonna buy. You
No,
know,
exactly.
yeah.
Consistency is everything.
Consistency is everything.
In what we're doing. And that's why we.
So does discipline over curiosity.
So it is. So it is. It is. It really is. Actually, at the end of the day, it's.
Either or.